going on, everyone, and welcome back to episode 12 of our Olympic Lyon'S FM19 save. And of course today we have the second leg of the Champions League against Borussia Dortmund and also a league game against Angers. It has been a couple of days since I've recorded this, so I need a bit of a refresher. But I'm pretty sure in between it was only the one game in between last time we met. It was a 4-0 thumping on Nantes. I don't really know. 1-0 at half time. We got 3 in the second half after making some substitutions. Which is all good and dandy. Unfortunately, Lucas Toussaint and Fekir both picked up knocks, so they both missed this second leg against Dortmund. But of course, if you saw last episode, you'd understand that we probably don't need them. We have a 5-0 lead heading into this, so I'm pretty sure we're heading into the semi-finals. This is the team my assistant manager's picked. I'm going to switch these two because I preferred Depay down the middle. But apart from that, I'm going to trust him and let him just rock with this team. We have Dubois, Marcelo, Denayer, Dalot, Lopez, Berg, and Ndombele, Hussein, Major, Depay, and Foden. Again, maybe I should rest a few players, actually. I'm actually going to rest a few players. I'm going to play a full rotation, see what happens. Nothing really happened. It puts Dubois as a register. Wow, okay, right. Ndombele can play. Lopez can play. I don't really want Gorgelin in goal. Sander Berg can start. We'll switch them to. Okay, we're going to play that team. Slightly rotate. Phil Foden's really tired, actually. Terrier. Why did I forget about Terrier? He can play. Switch those two. Switch those two. There we go, right. So a completely new team. Scratch what I said last time. It's now Lopez, Dalot, Marcelo, Denayer, Marçal, Sander Berg, Papacic, Pineda with Terrier, Lovro Major and Dembele up top. That's what we're going to run with. I don't care if Dembele doesn't like this formation. I reckon he's going to score today. That's my prediction. This is their lineup. They have Berkey, Schmeitzer, Diallo, Akanji, Hakimi, Delaney and Witsel round out the sort of defensive section of their team. Jadon Sancho comes in this game with Marco Reus shifted to the middle and Marius Wolf on the right hand side. Again with Paco Alcacer up top, very clinical player. Jadon Sancho's had a pretty good season as well, so they could be a bit more threatening this time. So perhaps have to watch out for that. But here I am in my pink coat as the teams walk out, the managers shake hands, and let's get this game underway. We're in the white and red. And they're in, of course, the yellow and black, very similar to the first game. And, of course, Dalot had a fantastic game as he's bursting forward here. Elsewhere, of course, it's Man City versus Man United, and Man United are chasing a 3-0 deficit. So it looks like Man City are one of our potential opponents in the semi-final. Very, very tough team, so I'm hoping we can avoid them. But at this stage of the competition, of course, every team's very tough, so it's just about, to be the best, you've got to beat the best, and that's just how this competition works. So, yeah, I'm hoping we don't pick up any injuries or anything today. As I said, I'm pretty sure we're guaranteed to go through regardless. As Sancho bursts forward, Pineda, long ball up to Lovro Major. And I just don't think Dortmund have the pace at the back to cope with this. He bursts into the box, he's tackled, Pineda squeezes it in, and it's 1-0 away from home. So we're now 6-0 in aggregate with an away goal. I just don't see it happening for Dortmund today. Pineda scores a lot of rebounds like this. His positioning is actually very good. A lot of his goals have been like scrambled, like goals that are scrambled in. And, I guess that's a good thing. Not saying it's not, but as Marco Reus has a free kick here straight into the wall, that's disappointing from him. But yeah, Pineda scores a lot of rebound goals. As they do get one back, Paco Alcacer, very clinical in real life, clinical in the game, and it's now actually 6-1 on aggregate, so who knows, maybe it could happen for them, but of course they have to win now 7-6 on aggregate. So even if they win this game 5-1, we go through. Oh, sorry, 6-1, we go through. Right, so they're on the attack again, actually. This could be goal number 2. It's not, as Lopez does get his hands to that. And it did look a bit shaky for a moment there, so they're definitely looking better in this home leg. So maybe I've underestimated them here. The rules that I always kind of go by is if we scored 5 at home, they could score 5 at home, 6 at home. We don't know how much of a fortress this is. Let's have a quick look, actually. Let's click Borussia Dortmund. They're only 7th in the Bundesliga. So not having the best of seasons, losing 9 times, as Bayern Munich are running away with that league. So, yeah, I mean, they're not doing too great in their league, but they're still a force. They've still got good players. Not the team they once were, but that's what happens when you're sort of playing second fiddle within the league. The same could be said for Lyon. So yeah, it's pretty equal on that platform. So it's Danea up to Papachik into Martin Terrier, controls it, a lovely finish, and their keeper's had a nightmare today. 7-1 now in aggregate, 2-1 on the night, and I think their keeper should be doing better there. But a lovely touch from Terrier. Take it out from under his feet, and then just lovely slotted finish. I think the keeper should be getting to that, but he doesn't. And it's 2-1 on the night, as I said, 7-1 on aggregate, so they have a long way to go. And it's looking good for us as Terrier on the ball again, tackled this time. Sancho hoofs it clear to Paco Alcacer. Gets tackled, Marcelo on the ball, Lopez out to Marçal. And we're just sort of holding possession nicely here. Pineda bursting forward now, put into Lovro Major. Out wide, giving the ball away, so a bit sloppy from us in the end as Jadon Sancho now on the ball. Hoofs an early cross to Royce, headed down to Paco Alcacer in his second of the game, and it's 2-2. So end-to-end stuff this game is much better than actually, is it much better than the first? I'm not too sure. 5-0 is pretty hard to top, but 4 goals already in this game, and it's pretty much been we score, they reply, we score, they reply. So as we go into half-time, it's 2-2. They've probably statistically had the better better half of the game, really, which has been very clinical. But I think at this point, 7-2 up, they've now got to score 5 goals to even equal aggregate and would go through. So even if they win 7-2 on the night, I think we go through. Is that right? No, they need to score 5 more goals. Yeah. So if they win 7-2 today, we'd still go through on away goals, is my point. But time's ticking away really quickly in the second half, so I don't think that's going to happen unless they go on an absolute rampage. I thought they were going to make some be on the attack there. I'm going to bring on Husem for Lovro. Apart from that, everyone else is pretty tired, so I'm just going to keep them on the bench, to be honest. I don't think we need to make any subs at this stage. I think even if they do get another goal, I think we're still very, very safe. So it's not really my priority to risk injuring players within the league. I do think now the league is a little too far for us to catch up now. I think there's only like 7 games left, and I think PSG have like an 8-point lead. So I think at this point it's doomed as we get a penalty here. And who's going to take it actually? Is that Dombele or is that Papachik? It's Dembele. I forgot we had that striker on the pitch as he scores. I did say he was going to score today. I said at the beginning of the day, beginning of the game, I think Dembele will score. Admittedly, it wasn't from open play, so his position has nothing to do with it. But he has got on the score sheet. He's only 4th of the season. He hasn't played very much. But he's on the score sheet. He's off the board. 3-2 on the night, 8-2 on aggregate. So we're doing very well. I think we could win this Champions League now, actually. It was a bit shaky in the group stage. I was admittedly doubting myself. As Papachik bursts into the box, it's another goal. Another sloppy performance from their goalkeeper. Papachik. Oh, it's Papachik. I thought it was Papachik. Anyway, regardless what his name is, he's grabbed another goal in this game. He's grabbed his second of the season. It's 4-2 on aggregate. 4-2 on the night. 9-2 on aggregate. And, elsewhere... Oh! Wait. So Man United are 2-0 up. They've missed a penalty as well that would have put them 3-0 up. So it would have been 3-3 on aggregate. It's 3-3 on aggregate. Paul Pogba has their game's kicking off more than our game is. It's not because we've scored 6 goals, but in terms of like the aggregate scoreline, their goals have meant a lot more. Of course, I don't think Dortmund ever looked like chasing us really. I'm pretty sure they've always been at least 5 goals behind us in aggregate. As Witsel, a bit of an ambitious strike there to round out the game. And as we head into full time, it's Lyon 4, Dortmund 2, 9-2 on aggregate, 4-2 on the night. We had the better showing in the second half, of course we bounced these statistics back in our favour. A very, very comfortable performance from us. So if we can perform like that in the semi-final, I can see us going on to the final. As in the 96th minute, Juan Mata has scored the 4th to put Man United... Imagine the scenes in real life if that happened. 96th minute, Jose Mourinho has knocked out Pep Guardiola of the Champions League. He's done it. So Man United and ourselves are through to the semi-final. That's crazy. What other teams are in the tournament? Let's have a look. Okay, so Juventus, Bayern Munich, Liverpool, or Atletico Madrid. Yeah, it's a star-studded lineup here. I mean, of course, we've beaten Juventus before. We haven't lost to them this year, so we'd fancy our chances against them. I think I'd rather play Liverpool than Atletico. I think Liverpool's defensive record isn't as good as Atletico's, so I think we'd have a chance of scoring more goals against them. But both are very tough, so at this stage it doesn't really matter who we draw, does it? But I'm going to jump ahead to this Angers game, and I'm going to catch up with you then, so catch you then. I did mention I was going to be back at the Angers game, but in between then, well, now and then, is the Champions League semi-final draw. And as you can see here, it's Juventus, Manchester United, Atletico Madrid, and Olympique Lyonnais. So I thought, we missed the quarter-final draw and the last 16, so I thought I've got to bring you this one. Of course, as I mentioned, we've played Juventus before. We haven't lost to them. We beat them 4-1 and drew 2-2. United and Atletico, I think at this stage I'd probably want to avoid. Because I think right now, I think mainly I want to avoid Man United. I think I could take the other two. But it's all about, who can I beat over 2 legs. I don't know. Let's see who we get. I'm hoping we're not the first name out of the hat. And we're not. Man United. Is this Man United versus Olympique Lyonnais? It's not. Man United versus Juventus. Ronaldo versus Man United. Pogba versus Juve. So that obviously happened in real life. And it's Lyon versus Madrid. We are playing at home first, so a little bit of an advantage maybe. I think that could be a little bit of an advantage. Madrid sitting second in La Liga. They're in a similar position to us, really. A long way off the top, a long way off third. We're a long way off the top. We're a long way off third. So a very even matchup here, actually. And yeah, that's Champions League draw. I thought I'd bring it to you guys. We have Atletico Madrid, but I'll catch you at the Angers game. See you then. Here we are then. We have now approached the Angers game. Just a quick disclaimer that the clips you just saw, including the Dortmund game, the Champions League draw, was recorded on a separate day to this. I had a little bit of a break in between. So if my voice sounds different or it's, doesn't mesh as well as you wonder if there's a bit of a change, that is why. I've just also noticed over here that we're actually running a negative loss this season. We're down 15 million. I'm assuming that's because we haven't received things like TV rights, and I think actually our wage budget is over our committed spending, so that's probably the cause of that. Let's see if I can juggle that around. Let's do that. Does that help? No, it does not help. So yeah, we're going to be on a negative balance until we receive our bank balance and TV loans. Yeah, not TV loans, TV payments, TV revenue, Champions League revenue, things like that. So just a quick run through the squad actually. As you see, a lot of our players are wanted. So Fekir's wanted, Memphis Depay's wanted, Terrier's wanted. Only by Palace and Stoke. That's a bit disappointing for him. Dombele's unhappy. I said I'd give him a contract at the end of the season, and he was like demanding that I give him one now. So that's not great. Dembele's wanted by a lot of clubs actually. Arsenal, Burnley, Huddersfield, Newcastle, Fiorentina. Now his of course his transfer value has dropped massively, so I think in the summer I'm going to loan him out for a year, and then I'm going to sell him the year after that. So he won't be here next season, but I'm definitely going to get rid of him essentially. But I want him to boost his transfer value, so I'm going to send him out on loan. Probably get a loan payment back, like maybe 250k a month or a week, whatever it is, just so we get a little bit of extra income, and it's effectively like a year-long transfer. Just some more info before we hop into this Angers game. See, we're favourites all around the board, 5 wins on the bounce in the league, but we've drawn to them both times we've played them, so they're definitely no pushover. So again, it could be another draw, and we could drop further behind PSG here, which at the end of the day we really don't want to do. So this is the squad we're going to go with. It's Lopez, Dalot, Pongracic, Danea, Mendy, Dombele, Hussein, Lovro Major, Fekir, Foden and Depay. I'm still not a fan of Depay on this right hand side, but my assistant manager is pretty much forcing it upon me at this point. So I'm going to trust him. I've trusted him in the past and it has worked out well. They're playing a standard 4-4-2. Pretty rare you see that nowadays actually in Football Manager, even in real life really, unless you go to sort of the lower leagues, especially primarily in England. That's played more often there. It's almost like, learn the basics really, isn't it? It's a traditional formation, so in the lower leagues it's often the easiest to deploy. with effectiveness really. But we're in the white, they're in the yellowy lime coloured kit. Let's have actually we have Memphis with a free kick that skims the top of the bar. Have a quick look at the league table. As you see, we're currently 10 points behind PSG. But of course, if we win, that goes down to 8. So a similar story to last game. It's going to pretty much be like that till the end of the season. Just because they've beaten Monaco, they've beaten Marseille. I don't really see who else is going to stop them at this point. We, of course, beat them twice, so we don't play them again. And yeah, at this point, I don't really see anyone stopping them. So congratulations to PSG. I'm going to say it now. They've probably won the league. I'll probably say it again every episode till they actually win it. As Memphis Depay on the right-hand side. So he has actually grabbed a goal there. I didn't think he'd be effective, but like I said, my assistant manager said he would be. He's grabbed the 17th goal of the season for himself. Ferland Mendy getting the assist, which is good to see him getting back in action when it comes to us scoring goals. He's been very quiet as of late. But he's back with a bang as we're 1-0 up against Angers here, and as I said, down to 80 points. One thing I noted, actually, it will probably pop up before the next game. I'll see if I can highlight it to you then. Lyon's record for wins in the league, I think, is 25, which after this game, as things stand, we would, of course, equal. So it's almost a record-breaking season for Lyon, and we're still 8 points adrift of PSG. So it just shows how difficult they are to beat. You can clearly see where the league was won and lost in all the draws that we had. They're just really clinical, they either win or they lose at the end of the day, and that's worked for them. As Baptiste Santamaria, their striker, has been sent off. So they're down to 10 men, but again, it's a striker, so it's not too catastrophic for them. They can still operate without him. I think so, at least, It's not ideal, as he won't be able to pressure our two centre-backs as much, but it's not like the end of the world. As you see, we haven't had a highlight since sort of the 9th minute, really, so very quiet half, apart from that one goal very early on. As, of course, they're chasing the Champions League football here. If you have a look at the table on the left-hand side, Angers are currently in 4th. Chasing Marseille. Marseille do have a game in hand, though, so at this point, after this result, it's probably a little bit out of their reach now, and I think that's probably it for them. And yeah, Montpellier fell off quite a lot, actually. Earlier on in the season, they were, of course, up there in the upper echelons of the table. Bordeaux, again, as I mentioned, not having the best of seasons. Lille, if they get relegated, that'll be very interesting. I'm going to see if they have any players that I would want to steal. Not really. Maybe Thiago Mendes, but doesn't look great. Not really. Their team's pretty average now. They have a free kick here, and it's gone in, actually. I just missed that as I was on the league table. I'm not sure why it didn't switch me to the pitch screen when a highlight comes up. We'll definitely catch it on the replay, but it's 1-1. As I said, Angers seem to have not our number because they haven't beaten us. Good finish from Mangani, but we just can't seem to get the 3 points against them. They did knock us out of the cup, actually, so maybe they do have our number. I'm going to make some subs here, actually. Yeah, I'm going to bring Prapachik on for Hussein. And that's it. I'm going to make all 3 subs at once. Basically hope that does something. It's Dombele here on the edge of the box. Out wide to Diego Dallo. Of course, losing him in the summer, actually. So we probably need to... I think finding a right back and a left back are probably our priorities. Of course, we have got Mendy and Dubois, but I think we definitely need some backup options. I think this year proved, that fitness is a major aspect to this formation, and some of our losses and draws came because we didn't have a fully rotated side. We didn't have enough squad depth, and as a result, we suffered the consequences of that, really, primarily in the back, the back third of the pitch. I think our midfield, we have enough players. Obviously, we have like Dombele, Papachik, Sanderberg, Pineda, Hussein, youth players coming through the ranks. Fakir can I think can drop down a little bit. Lovro Major can drop down into the middle 3. So the midfield 3 we're fine. As of right now, the front 3 are kind of fine. Again, I might need to bring in another attacking mid, but I don't know how much money we're going to get from the board. So I just don't know how feasible it is to bring in a right back, a left back, and a cam. Especially as teams are going to be chasing Fakir, and I don't really want to sell Fakir and replace him with 2 average cams. So it's really, a matter of just seeing what happens and seeing what unravels. Really, as Mendy bursts to the edge of the byline, no one can get on the end of his cross. Diego Dallo's going to try the same, I think. Whips in a bit of a better cross. Lovro Major's just too short. Is he? Oh no, it's VAR. So It's been given. Apparently, didn't even go to VAR. It's given it straight away. Fekir steps up, slots home like you knew he would. And I think that's 29th of the season. So at this rate, he's going to hit 30 goals for the season. And you just can't really... Can you justify selling someone who grabbed you 30 goals in a season? If he was a striker and grabbed 30 goals in a season, no one would let him go. Let alone a cam. So I know we don't play with a striker and effectively he is our striker. But if someone's scoring 30 goals for you, you can't just let him go easily. It's going to have to be a big bid for him. Because of course... We rejected 90 million from Arsenal in the January window, so I think it's got to be 100 plus at this point. 100 plus, I may be tempted to do it. I could bring in, at least one massive name to replace him, then maybe one slightly smaller one to play alongside him, a bit of squad depth, of course. So that's the plan. If I get an offer of 100 plus million, more so 100 plus, like almost in the immediate future. I don't want... like 50 up front and 50 over 2 years, because that's no good to us in this save, because realistically it's not going to go on for 4 or 5 years. I think at some point we're going to have to call it a day. But yeah, board set our initial budget's actually, and it's only 23 million. That's really disappointing. I'm hoping that's because we haven't received like our Champions League money yet, and we haven't received like next year's TV revenue. So it might be a bit of a quiet summer next year, and then we might have to have a big busy January window next year. I'm not too sure how that's going to play out, but the good news is we have won 6 games in a row, and we're unbeaten in 11, I think that is, in all competitions, of course. So we really haven't got anything to be ashamed of this season, really. A lot of our losses were only by 1 goal, of course. 4-3, 1-0, a penalty loss, another 1-0, another 1-0. That's it. Apart from the 2-0 is the biggest loss we've had this season. And it was in the Champions League where we're in the semi-final anyway. So we've got nothing to be ashamed of. We've done fantastically. I'm going to skip ahead now. That's the end of today's episode. If you did enjoy, please drop a like. It helps out a ton. Subscribe if you want to see daily Football Manager content. As I said, it helps out a ton as well. Just gets my channel a bit more visibility. I really appreciate that. Share it on your social media, on Twitter, anything like that if you could. That would be great as well. And as I said, I'll catch you next time, guys. That's the end of today's episode. See you next time.